Hi, welcome to a screencasting demonstration of how to use Google Scholar when searching for particular articles, more scholarly articles on the topic of inquiry-based learning in senior modern history. Now, to access Google Scholar, you can just go here to More and hit Scholar. And we're going to do one of the advanced Scholar searches today. But before we start, one of the things that you might like to access, if you go to Scholar Preferences, if you put in a library link like the Queensland University of Technology, find library, you can see here that you can get those full texts, and you can just add that as one of your preferences, so that if you find an article and you can't actually access the full article through Google, you can see whether that is actually available in one of the databases. So we're going to look at, with all the words and phrases, what you can understand is that Google Scholar is an indexed, it does index more scholarly articles, and it's like a library database, but it is actually web-based. We don't need to add the words "and", it actually will group the words if you're just using the main search box. So we're going to look at terms such as inquiry-based learning, and with the exact phrase of maybe the inquiry process, because that's what we tend to use in senior modern history, with at least one of the words modern history, and without the words we'll put in science. And what we can go down here is also, for our subject area, select social science, arts and humanities. So once we have all of those in place, we can then go and search on Scholar and teacher indicative school-based inquiry, building passive organised learning through evaluative inquiry. So we've got 913 results. So here's an interesting one: rewriting the history and social studies classroom needs, framework, dangers and proposals towards a critical theory of reflective inquiry, the power of appreciative inquiry. So there seems to be quite a lot that already I can see that I could use. We could just go back to the search, and we can either go through this means, or just to show you that you can also just go to Google Scholar, and rather than go to the advanced search, we can put in here as well inquiry-based learning. And then we might also want to use guided inquiry and inquiry process, and we'll see what sort of search terms we get there. So future constructors describe promise expert inquiry-based teaching, so that looks interesting, and you can see if you want to get full text you can actually access that at QUT. Now that has 125,000 hits there, so we would probably want to refine that. You can see it's actually looking for searches in here, so we can just go back to our search again, and we might just narrow it down by saying guided inquiry, and if we put inverted commas around that, it'll keep it together, and we might just try and see if we can find something on senior modern history and do a search. Recent ancient Athens and the modern year, senior year. So here's a history problem, a curriculum reform, community more visual history. So we've got 174, still probably a few too many, but it's starting to narrow down, and it's possible to go through, here's beyond generating beyond the classroom, it's possible to go through and just narrow down your search again and again by adding some more of those terms and deciding on which ones are going to be suitable and which ones are not. So that just gives you an idea of how to focus in and do a search on Google Scholar. Bye now.